I hope that maybe I could encourage some of you to buy this book. I Spy, You Spy, They Spy by Denise Noe. You can find it at Amazon. Okay. It's chapter 1 is about the legendary Mata Hari. Chapter 2 is World War II spy boss Vera Atkins, who was the model for Miss Moneypenny and James Bond. Chapter 3 is Alger Hiss and the question of communist spies in America. Chapter 4 is Christopher Boyce, often called the Falcon, and Andrew Dalton Lee. And Chapter 5 is the sad case of Jonathan Pollard, who has since been released after over 2 decades, about a quarter of a century in prison, and has since immigrated to Israel, the country for which he spied. Okay. And I think you will learn some new things in the book. Okay. Mata Hari. That does have an aura of glamour to it, and for good reason. She was quite the courtesan, quite the man-pleaser. And in World War II, well, not World War II, World War I, was she a double spy? Well, find out. But she was indeed a man's woman, a courtesan, very high class hooker, and a wonderful exotic dancer. Vera Atkins was a Jewish woman who was born in Romania, and I wrote, this is reading directly from my story, into a Jewish family torn by conflicting identities. They were Jewish, but they didn't really, and they were Romanian, but didn't really identify with Romania. The male side of the family identified with Germany. She was born in 1908, in a time period when most German Jews did identify with Germany. And indeed, in World War I era, most Jews of German background sided with Germany. And her mother, though, was from England and had very strong English sympathies. So she grew up with a very strong Jewish identity, but was torn between her English identity and her German identity. Now, interestingly though, her father, while very strongly Jewish, also inculcated in his children an admiration for the founder of Christianity, who, after all, was a fellow Jew. He used to tell them, follow the Jesus strategy. Jesus built his power by showing love for the poor among us. Pretty good advice. Okay. Now, an odd thing, and then I go into Alger Hiss and the question of communist spies in America. And that is something that is still debated. Was Alger Hiss a communist? Was he a spy? There's actually some evidence new evidence that has come out in the last few decades that actually backs up his accusers. You might want to read my article and learn about that. Spy Christopher Boyce was a man born into America, but oddly enough, a man of no loyalties. He didn't really see why he should be loyal to a country just because he was born into it. And then there is the question of Jonathan Pollard, who really was not disloyal to the United States, even though he was imprisoned by the United States for